Run that back, turbo.
St.Cloud.
When it comes to goals and accomplishments prior to my final collegiate season, there are a number of things that I can be proud of. As a junior, I received second team all-conference as a running back. I wouldn't say that was my goal, but I would say that I could consider that as an accomplishment. Aside from that, I definitely want to come into my final collegiate season in the best shape of my life. I put in a lot of work throughout that summer prior to my final season, and also stayed up, with my teammates in St. Cloud, working out with those guys. And I really believe and wholeheartedly feel that I was able to put in enough work to come into my final collegiate season in the best shape of my life. It's kind of funny because yesterday I was driving and I get a phone call from my coach, and I kind of told him about this opportunity that I had to have this interview. And I asked him, I was like, Coach, what do you think about me? What does the staff think about me? And this is one of the things I've always kind of wondered, but he told me that, a lot of times the coaches would say, oh, we wish we could have 100 Greg Lewis's on the team, or, you're a guy that's able to lead from the front, and, you're a guy that cares, and you're a guy that's going to, really put everything on the line for the guy next to you. And that really shocked me because at the banquet this past year, the senior banquet, the head coach had said that, we wish we could have had you for 4 years. And, that really hit me home because it made me feel wanted, it made me feel good. And, I had a short stay at St.Cloud State. I only was at the university for 2 years, but it felt like I was there for a lot longer than that. And it just really made me feel good to know that I was viewed upon in such a positive light from my coaches. And, also I was able to, be voted team captain as a senior, which was voted on by my teammates. So it also made me feel really good to get that type of recognition from my peers, So all in all, I think, they say a lot of good things about me. When I'm studying film, I like to study myself and also my opponents. When I'm studying myself, I like to focus on the plays that didn't go so well and try to analyze the things that, I could have possibly done better, or try to figure out why the play didn't work out. I also like to pay attention to, my offensive line, kind of seeing how, they approach certain blocks, or how they approach certain angles to hit certain aiming points. And I really try to, figure out how I can time up my running and, my pace and my meshes as far as receiving the ball, so that I could, best put myself in the best positions to, get yardage or score touchdowns, or, make positive plays for my team. When I'm studying an opponent, I really like to look at, how the linebackers flow, the playing style of the defense, how players, their tendencies, how they move. A lot of the times I like to focus mainly on how the safeties trigger. And a lot of times that's the last guy you gotta make miss. Me as a running back, that's the last guy I gotta make miss a lot of the time when I'm, past the first and second levels. So I like to pay attention to how the safety triggers and how I can make a move on that last guy, to hit the home run play. I would say there are a couple things that will separate myself from other players at my position. One, I know I'm a smaller back, but I don't play like a smaller back. The fact that I'm a smaller back, but I'm able to go out there and pass pro the way that I do, I think that really separates my game from others. Also, I have the ability to, run and catch passes out of the backfield. My offense really didn't provide that for me much at St. Cloud State, but, the 2 bowl games that I was able to play in, I was definitely able to utilize some of that skill set of mine. So I think that would be another thing that separates myself from other running backs. And, just the whole fact that I really take pride in making plays without the ball. I'm not a player that's willing to, loaf and take plays off because I'm not getting the ball. I really enjoy making plays and springing my teammates free when I have the opportunity to do so. My training process will begin at the beginning of January. I'll be training with Inspire Athletes in Plymouth, Minnesota. That's where it's located. I will, you know, be working on the 40, you know, the 3-cone, doing explosive movements and different types of workouts, just to really give myself that slight edge over the competition and, you know, the other people at my position. Strengths and abilities that I think I'm able to bring to a team on and off the field. We'll start first with off the field. Off the field, I think I'll be able to lead by example in a positive manner, you know, just by doing the right things, knowing that it matters, you know, about doing the right things when people aren't watching, and just being a positive human being, you know, in society outside of, you know, playing a sport that I love. On the field, I can definitely be a vocal leader. I can be a person that leads by example. I can also be a person that's going to provide you a bunch of positivity. I'm definitely a person that takes the negative situations and finds ways to make positives out of them. And I'm a person that's not easily rattled. You know, when things get tough, I'll do a real good job of keeping my composure and, you know, overcoming those tough situations. In terms of my final pitch to NFL teams and pro scouts, I can be certain that with me as a player, you're going to get 3 things. 1, you're going to get a player that is consistent. 2, you're going to get a player that has the ability to lead and also has the ability to be coachable. Number 3, you're going to get a player that refuses to be complacent and is willing to put in the time and effort to work relentlessly and tirelessly to fulfill his obligations. Most people may think or say that taking a shot on a small school guy like myself may be considered a risk, but with my hard work and dedication and my history, it will present itself as being an investment. Thank you.